Do you know who my father is? He literally writes the laws you follow. Those words hang in the air of Providence Municipal Court. The woman who said them stands in front of Judge Frank Caprio. Her name is Vanessa Hartwell. She's 23 years old. Long blonde hair falls past her shoulders in perfect waves. Her nails are painted bright red. They're freshly done. Probably cost $200. She's wearing a white Chanel blazer. The buttons are gold. Her jeans have tiny diamonds sewn into the pockets. Real diamonds. On her wrist sits a rose gold Cartier bracelet. It catches the light every time she moves her hand, which is a lot, because she can't stop checking her phone. Judge Caprio sits behind the bench. His glasses rest on his nose. His expression is calm, but his eyes are sharp. They miss nothing. Behind him hangs the seal of Rhode Island. In front of him sits a stack of files. Today's cases. Regular people with regular problems. Parking tickets. Expired registrations. Small violations that mean big consequences for people who are barely getting by. If you believe justice should be equal for everyone, you'll want to see what happens next. The bailiff calls the case. Case 2025 TR 91847. State versus Hartwell. Standing near the sidewall is a woman named Rosa Mendez. She's 41 years old. Her hair is pulled back in a simple ponytail. Gray strands mix with the black. She wears blue scrubs, the kind nurses wear. But she's not at the hospital today. She's here, in court. Her hands shake slightly. She holds a folder. Inside are papers, bills, receipts, evidence of a life lived paycheck to paycheck. Rosa works at Rhode Island Hospital. She's been a nurse for 17 years. She works the night shift, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., 4 nights a week. On her days off, she works at a clinic in South Providence. She does this because her husband got sick 3 years ago. Cancer. The treatments cost money. Even with insurance, mountains of money, they still owe $47,000. Rosa makes payments every month. $500. It's all she can afford. Some months, she can't afford even that. 2 weeks ago, Rosa was driving home from her night shift. It was 7:30 in the morning. She was tired. Exhausted, really. 12 hours on your feet does that. She stopped at a red light on Broad Street. The light turned green. She started to go. Then a silver Maserati came flying through the intersection. It was going so fast Rosa barely saw it. The sports car ran the red light. Completely ran it. The light had been red for 4 full seconds. Rosa slammed her brakes. Her tires screamed. She stopped just in time. The Maserati missed her by inches. Rosa's heart was pounding. Her hands gripped the steering wheel. She thought she was going to die. In that split second, she thought about her husband, her 2 daughters. Who would take care of them? The Maserati didn't stop. It kept going. Rosa watched it speed away, but she saw the license plate. She memorized it. Her nurse training kicked in. Details matter. Details save lives. She pulled over, shaking, crying. She called the police. That Maserati belonged to Vanessa Hartwell, daughter of Congressman Richard Hartwell, 3-term representative, chairman of the Judiciary Committee, the man who decides which judges get appointed, the man who controls budgets, the man whose face is on billboards across the state. The traffic camera caught everything, every single frame. The red light, the Maserati flying through, Rosa's car stopping, the near miss. All of it recorded, time-stamped, saved. Officer Michael Chun wrote the citation. Failure to obey a traffic signal. Reckless driving. Endangering another person. He sent it to Vanessa's address. A penthouse condo in downtown Providence. For $1 million. Her father bought it for her 21st birthday. But here's the thing. Rosa got a ticket too. For having an expired registration. Her car registration was 12 days past due. She couldn't afford to renew it. She had to choose. Registration or her husband's medication. She chose the medication. Of course she did. So now she's here, in court, facing a fine she can't pay, possibly losing her license. The license she needs to get to work. The work she needs to keep her family alive. Ms. Mendez, please approach, Judge Caprio says. His voice is gentle, kind. Rosa steps forward. Her hands clutch the folder tighter. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning. I see you're here for an expired registration. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Can you tell me what happened? Rosa takes a breath. I know it was expired. Things have been hard. My husband is sick. The bills keep coming. I meant to renew it. I really did. I just didn't have the money that week. Judge Caprio nods slowly. He's heard stories like this before. 100 times. 1,000. What do you do for work, Ms. Mendez? I'm a nurse. At Rhode Island Hospital. I work nights. How long have you been a nurse? 17 years. 17 years. Taking care of people. Helping people. And now you're in my court because you couldn't afford a registration fee. Rosa's eyes fill with tears. She blinks them back. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I know that's not an excuse. Actually, it is an excuse. A very good one. Before Rosa can respond, the courtroom doors burst open. Not swing. Burst. Like someone kicked them. Vanessa Hartwell walks in. No, she doesn't walk. She struts. Like she's on a runway. Like this is a show. Her heels click on the floor. Loud. Sharp. Everyone turns to look. She doesn't look at anyone. Her eyes stay on her phone. Her thumbs move fast. Texting. Or maybe posting on Instagram. Maybe both. Ms. Hartwell, Judge Caprio says, please approach the bench. Vanessa holds up one finger. One finger. Like the judge should wait. Like he's a waiter and she needs one more minute to decide what to order. The courtroom goes silent. People stare. A man in the back row leans forward. A woman covers her mouth. The bailiff takes a step forward. His hand moves to his belt. Not threatening. Just ready. 10 seconds pass. Vanessa finishes her text. Hit send. Then she looks up. Yeah, she says. Not, yes, Your Honor. Not good morning, Judge. Just yeah. Judge Caprio removes his glasses. He cleans them with a cloth from his pocket. Slowly. This is a move he makes when he needs a moment. When he needs to choose his words carefully. He puts his glasses back on. Ms. Hartwell, when you're in my courtroom, you will show respect. That means putting your phone away. That means addressing me properly. That means arriving on time. Do you understand? Vanessa shrugs. Actually shrugs. Sure. Can we make this quick? I have a spa appointment at noon. A woman in the third row gasps. The sound echoes in the quiet room. Let me be clear, Judge Caprio says. This is not quick. This is court. We will take as much time as needed. Whatever. Vanessa slides her phone into her Prada purse. The purse probably costs $3,000. Maybe more. What am I even here for? The prosecutor stands. His name is David Walsh. He's been a prosecutor for 8 years. He's seen entitled defendants before. But this is different. Your Honor, Ms. Hartwell is charged with failure to obey a traffic signal, reckless driving, and endangering another motorist. On the morning of November 28th, at approximately 7:32 a.m., Ms. Hartwell ran a red light at the intersection of Broad Street and Public. She was traveling at an estimated 67 miles per hour in a posted 35-mile-per-hour zone. She nearly caused a serious collision with another vehicle. Is this about that thing on Broad Street? Vanessa asks. She looks bored. Completely bored. Yes, Ms. Hartwell. That thing. Okay, so what? Nobody hit anybody. No harm, no foul, right? Judge Caprio stares at her. Just stares. 5 seconds. 10. No harm, no foul. Is that your legal defense? I mean, basically. Like, if I had actually hit someone, then yeah, I'd get it. But I didn't. So why am I here? Rosa Mendez stands off to the side. She's watching this. Listening. Her face shows everything. Disbelief. Anger. Sadness. This woman almost killed her. Almost left her daughters without a mother. And she doesn't even care. Ms. Hartwell, Judge Caprio says, do you know who this woman is? He gestures to Rosa. Vanessa glances at Rosa. Barely glances. No. Should I? She's the woman you almost killed that morning. I didn't almost kill anyone. That's so dramatic. You ran a red light going 67 miles per hour. The light was yellow when I entered the intersection. The traffic camera says otherwise. Then the traffic camera is wrong. David Walsh opens his folder. He pulls out a stack of photos. Still frames from the traffic camera. He hands them to the clerk. The clerk passes them to the judge. Judge Caprio examines them. His expression doesn't change, but his jaw tightens. Just slightly. Ms. Hartwell, I'm looking at these photos. The light is clearly red. Bright red. It had been red for 4 full seconds when you entered that intersection. Vanessa waves her hand. Dismissive. Cameras glitch all the time. Everyone knows that. Are you saying the camera malfunctioned? I'm saying maybe it did. Or maybe the timing is off. Or maybe I'm just being targeted because of who my father is. Targeted. Judge Caprio repeats the word slowly. You think you're being targeted. It happens. People don't like successful families. They look for reasons to tear us down. A man in the back stands up. His face is red. Are you serious right now? He shouts. The bailiff moves toward him. Sir, please sit down. The man sits, but he's shaking his head, muttering. Let me make sure I understand, Judge Caprio says. You believe you're being persecuted because of your father's position. Persecuted is a strong word, but yeah, basically. And you don't think you did anything wrong. I think I got unlucky. Wrong place, wrong time. Wrong last name. Rosa's hands ball into fists. She wants to speak. You can see it. But she stays quiet. This isn't her turn yet. Ms. Hartwell, have you had any other traffic violations? Vanessa's lawyer finally speaks up. His name is Preston Aldridge. Gray hair. Expensive suit. Partner at a downtown firm. He represents a lot of rich people who get in trouble. Your Honor, my client has had 2 previous citations. Both were handled with payment of fines. No points on her license. What were those citations for? Speeding violations. How fast was she going? Preston hesitates. The first was 58 in a 35. The second was 63 in a 40. Judge Caprio writes something down. So this is the 3rd time you've been caught driving recklessly. I wouldn't say recklessly, Vanessa says. I'd say I like to get where I'm going. At 67 miles per hour through a red light. The light was yellow. We've established it was red. We've established the camera says it was red. I say it was yellow. Who are you going to believe? A machine or a person? In this case, the machine. Vanessa laughs. Actually laughs. It's not a nervous laugh. It's not an uncomfortable laugh. It's a laugh that says she thinks this is funny. Okay, fine. Let's say the light was red. What's the fine? I'll pay it right now. I have Apple Pay. This isn't about a fine, Ms. Hartwell. Everything's about a fine. That's how courts work. You charge people money. They pay. Everyone moves on. Is that what you think justice is? I think justice is practical. I did a thing. Or allegedly did a thing. You tell me the price. I pay the price. Done. Judge Caprio leans back in his chair. He's been a judge for decades. He's seen thousands of cases. Thousands of defendants. Some scared. Some sorry. Some defiant. But this level of casual disrespect? This is rare. Ms. Mendez, he says, turning to Rosa, would you please tell the court what happened that morning? Rosa steps forward. She opens her folder. Her hands still shake. I was driving home from work. I worked the night shift at the hospital. I'm a nurse in the ICU. I had just finished a 12-hour shift. I was at the light on Broad Street. The light turned green. I started to go. Then this silver car came out of nowhere. It was going so fast. I slammed on my brakes. I stopped just in time. If I had been 1 second slower, she would have hit me. Right on the driver's side. The impact would have. Rosa's voice breaks. She pauses. Breathes. I could have died. I really could have died. Vanessa examines her nails. She's not even looking at Rosa. Are you listening, Ms. Hartwell? Judge Caprio asks. Yeah, I'm listening. She's saying I almost hit her. But I didn't. So again, no harm, no foul. Rosa's eyes widen. She looks at Vanessa. Really looks at her. No harm? I couldn't sleep for a week. I kept seeing your car in my dreams. I kept hearing the sound of my brakes. My daughters asked me why I was crying. I had to explain to them that Mommy almost didn't come home. Do you understand what that's like? Do you know what it's like to tell your kids that someone almost took you away from them? Vanessa finally looks at Rosa. That sounds like a you problem. Maybe you should talk to someone about your anxiety. The courtroom explodes. People start talking all at once. Someone yells. The bailiff raises his hand. Order. Everyone stay seated. Judge Caprio bangs his gavel. Once. Twice. The room goes quiet. Ms. Hartwell, what did you just say? I said it sounds like she has anxiety. Which is valid. Lots of people have anxiety. I'm not judging. I'm just saying maybe she should address that instead of blaming me for her feelings. You think she has anxiety because you almost killed her. I think she has anxiety because she has anxiety. I didn't cause that. David Walsh stands up again. Your Honor, if I may, we have additional evidence. Proceed. David pulls out more documents. Your Honor, after the incident, Ms. Hartwell posted on her Instagram story. With your permission, I'd like to read what she wrote. Permission granted. David reads from his phone. Quote, just got a BS ticket from a cop with a power trip. Literally did nothing wrong. Some people stay mad when you're living your best life. Not my problem. End quote. She posted this 3 hours after nearly causing a fatal accident. Vanessa shrugs again. So, I'm allowed to post on my social media. You called a traffic violation a BS ticket. Because it is. You said you did nothing wrong. I didn't. You said people are mad that you're living your best life. They are, obviously. Judge Caprio writes more notes. His pen moves fast across the paper. Ms. Hartwell, do you take responsibility for anything that happened that day? I take responsibility for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's it. You don't think you drove recklessly? No. You don't think you endangered Ms. Mendez? No. You don't think you did anything wrong? Correct. Then why are you here? Honestly? Great question. I've been wondering the same thing. Preston touches Vanessa's arm. Vanessa, maybe we should. She pulls her arm away. Maybe we should what? Apologize. For something I didn't do. No thanks. Judge Caprio removes his glasses again. This time he doesn't clean them. He just holds them. Looks at them. Then looks at Vanessa. Ms. Hartwell, let me tell you something. I've been on this bench for a long time. I've seen people from every walk of life. Rich, poor, young, old. And I've learned something. Money doesn't make you better than anyone. It just makes you richer. Do you understand the difference? Sure. I don't think you do. I think you believe that because your father is a congressman, because you live in a penthouse, because you drive a Maserati, that the rules don't apply to you. Am I right? The rules apply. I just think some rules are stupid. Which rules are stupid? Speed limits, for one. They're set way too low. Modern cars can handle higher speeds. It's science. And red lights. Red lights are fine, when I actually run them, which I didn't. The evidence says you did. The evidence is wrong. David Walsh stands again. Your Honor, there's more. After Ms. Hartwell received her citation, our office received 5 phone calls. All from different people. All claiming to be friends of the Hartwell family. All suggesting that this ticket should be dismissed. One caller specifically said, and I quote, the congressman would appreciate this matter being handled quietly. Judge Caprio's eyebrows go up. Is that so? Yes, Your Honor. We logged every call. Time, date, phone number. We have records. I see. Ms. Hartwell, do you know anything about these calls? Vanessa shifts her weight. For the first time, she looks uncomfortable. Not ashamed. Just uncomfortable. I mean, people talk. I can't control what my dad's friends do. Did you ask them to make those calls? I might have mentioned the ticket to a few people. What exactly did you mention? Just that I got a ticket, and that it was unfair, and that maybe someone could help. Help how? I don't know. Make it go away. Isn't that what connections are for? The courtroom goes silent again. But this time it's different. This time the silence feels dangerous. Like a storm building. Connections, Judge Caprio repeats. You think connections exist to make traffic violations go away. I think connections exist to help people. And yeah, sometimes that means making problems go away. So you believe your father's position gives you special treatment. I believe my father's position means people understand that our time is valuable. We contribute to society. We deserve consideration. Rosa Mendez finally speaks. She doesn't yell. She doesn't scream. Her voice is soft, almost a whisper. But everyone hears it. I contribute to society too. I save lives. Every single day. I hold people's hands when they're dying. I comfort families when they lose someone. I work holidays. I work nights. I miss my daughter's school plays because I'm at the hospital. And you know what? I don't think I'm special because of it. I think I'm doing my job. The job I'm supposed to do. But apparently, that doesn't matter. Because I'm not rich. Because my father isn't a congressman. Because I don't have connections. Vanessa turns to look at Rosa. Really look at her. For just a second, something flickers in her eyes. Maybe recognition. Maybe guilt. But it passes. Fast. Look, I'm sorry you have a hard life. I really am. But that's not my fault. No one said it was your fault. Then why are you making me feel bad about it? I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm trying to make you understand that your actions have consequences. You almost killed me. You don't get to just pay a fine and move on. You don't get to act like it didn't matter. But it didn't matter. You're fine. You're standing right here. I'm standing here because I got lucky. Because I have good reflexes. Because I've been trained to react in emergencies. But what about the next person? What about the person who doesn't stop in time? What about the family that loses someone because you were going 67 in a 35? Vanessa's face hardens. The brief moment of whatever it was is gone. You know what? This is exactly what I'm talking about. You people love to play the victim. Love to act like everyone's out to get you. Maybe if you spent less time feeling sorry for yourself and more time improving your situation, you wouldn't be in court over a registration fee. The courtroom erupts again. Multiple people stand up. The bailiff moves to the center. Sit down. Everyone sit down right now. Judge Caprio bangs his gavel hard. 3 times. Ms. Hartwell. That is enough. But Vanessa isn't done. She turns to face the judge. Her chin lifts. Her shoulders go back. You want to know what I really think? I think this whole thing is a joke. I think you're trying to make an example out of me because of who my father is. I think you want to look tough. Want to show everyone that you're not afraid of the big bad congressman. Well, congratulations. You got your moment. Can I go now? No. You may not go. Why not? You've heard the case. You've heard her sob story. You've heard me defend myself. What else is there? There's accountability, Ms. Hartwell. Something you seem to know nothing about. I know plenty about accountability. I pay my bills. I show up when I'm supposed to. I follow the rules that actually matter. And which rules actually matter? The important ones. Who decides which ones are important? Common sense decides. Your common sense. Yeah, my common sense. Judge Caprio stands up. He's not a tall man. But right now he seems tall. He seems to fill the entire room. Ms. Hartwell, let me tell you what I see. I see a young woman who has never been told no. I see someone who believes the world revolves around her. I see someone who thinks money and connections can fix anything. But most of all, I see someone who has no idea how dangerous she is. Not just on the road, but to herself. Because one day, those connections won't work. One day, someone will hold you accountable. And when that day comes, you won't be ready. Because you've never had to be. Is that supposed to scare me? It's supposed to wake you up. I'm awake. And I'm ready to leave. You'll leave when I say you can leave. Vanessa pulls out her phone. I'm calling my dad. Put that phone away. He's going to want to know about this. Ms. Hartwell, if you don't put that phone away right now, I will hold you in contempt of court. Contempt of court? For calling my dad? That's insane. The phone. Away. Now. Vanessa stares at the judge. He stares back. Neither blinks. 10 seconds pass. 15. Finally, Vanessa puts the phone back in her purse. Fine. Happy. Not even close. David, please continue with the evidence. David Walsh stands again. He's holding a tablet now. Your Honor, we also have testimony from Officer Chun. He was the responding officer. He wrote the citation. With your permission, I'd like to call him to the stand. Permission granted. Officer Michael Chun enters from a side door. He's in full uniform. He takes the stand. The clerk swears him in. Officer Chun, David says, can you describe your interaction with Ms. Hartwell on the morning of November 28th? Yes. I pulled her over approximately 3 blocks from the intersection. She was still traveling at a high rate of speed. When I approached her vehicle, she was on her phone. I asked her to roll down her window. She did, but she kept talking on the phone. I asked her to end the call. She held up one finger like I should wait. After about 30 seconds, she ended the call. Then she asked me, quote, "What's the problem, officer?" What did you tell her? I told her she ran a red light at Broad and Public. She said the light was yellow. I told her the traffic camera recorded the entire incident and the light was clearly red. She said she didn't care what the camera showed. She knew what color the light was. How did she seem? Nervous? Apologetic? Neither. She seemed annoyed, like I was wasting her time. What happened next? I asked for her license and registration. She handed them to me. Then she said, and I remember this very clearly, "Do you know who my father is?" What did you say? I said I didn't care who her father was. She was getting a citation for running a red light and reckless driving. How did she respond? She laughed. Then she said, "This ticket will disappear before you finish your shift." Then she drove away. David turns to Judge Caprio. Your Honor, Officer Chen's body camera recorded the entire interaction. With your permission, I'd like to play it for the court. Play it. The clerk sets up the laptop. The video plays on a screen mounted to the wall. Everyone watches. The footage is exactly as Officer Chen described. Clear. Undeniable. There's Vanessa in her Maserati. There's her annoyed expression. There's her saying, "Do you know who my father is?" There's her predicting the ticket will disappear. When the video ends, Judge Caprio looks at Vanessa. Any comment? I was upset. People say things when they're upset. You predicted the ticket would disappear. I was hoping it would. Who wants a ticket? You used your father's position to intimidate an officer. I mentioned my father. That's not intimidation. That's conversation. That's exactly what intimidation is. I disagree. Judge Caprio sits down heavily. He looks tired. Not physically tired. Spiritually tired. Like this conversation is draining something essential from him. Ms. Hartwell, I'm going to ask you one more time. Do you take any responsibility for what happened that morning? I take responsibility for being in a hurry. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. You almost killed someone and you feel no remorse. I didn't almost kill anyone. That's her story. Not mine. Rosa's face crumbles. A tear rolls down her cheek. She wipes it away quickly, but not quick enough. Everyone sees it, and that's when Vanessa says it. The thing that changes everything. The thing that crosses every line. She turns to Rosa, looks her right in the eyes, and says honestly, maybe if you weren't so tired from working 2 jobs, you would have reacted faster. Maybe this is on you. The silence that follows is absolute, complete, total, like someone hit pause on reality. No one moves. No one breathes. No one can believe what they just heard. Then, slowly, people start to react. A woman in the second row stands up, her hand over her heart. A man near the back shakes his head, so hard his glasses fall off. Someone whispers, "Oh my God." Judge Caprio stares at Vanessa. Just stares. His face shows nothing. Blank. Empty. But his hands grip the bench. His knuckles turn white. 10 seconds of silence. 11. 12. Ms. Hartwell, Judge Caprio finally says. His voice is soft. Quiet. Dangerous. What did you just say? I said maybe she should have reacted faster. You're blaming the victim. I'm suggesting personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. From someone who takes no responsibility herself. I take plenty of responsibility. For what? Name one thing you've taken responsibility for today. Vanessa opens her mouth. Closes it. Opens it again. Nothing comes out. That's what I thought. Judge Caprio stands up again. Ms. Hartwell, I've been very patient with you. I've listened to your excuses. I've watched you disrespect this court. I've heard you blame everyone but yourself. But what you just said, blaming Ms. Mendez for your reckless driving, that's beyond the pale. That's beyond anything I've seen in my 30 years on this bench. I'm just being honest. You're being cruel. There's a difference. Whatever. No, not whatever. Not anymore. Judge Caprio picks up his pen. He writes something on the file, in front of him. Long sentences. Multiple paragraphs. His hand moves fast. Angry. When he finishes, he looks up. Ms. Hartwell, I'm ready to rule. Preston stands up quickly. Your Honor, may I have a moment with my client? You've had plenty of moments, Counselor. Sit down. Your Honor, please. Sit. Down. Preston sits. He looks at Vanessa. She doesn't look back. She's checking her nails again. Vanessa Hartwell, Judge Caprio says. Each word is crisp. Clear. You have been found guilty of failure to obey a traffic signal, reckless driving, and endangering another motorist. But this case is about more than traffic violations. This case is about character, or lack thereof. This case is about someone who has never been held accountable. Someone who believes the rules don't apply to her. Someone who needs to learn a very important lesson. And I am going to teach you that lesson right now. Vanessa rolls her eyes. Here we go. For the traffic violations, you were fined $15,750. That's $5,250 per violation. You will pay this fine within 30 days. Vanessa pulls out her phone. What's your Venmo? Put that phone away. She puts it away, but she's smiling, like this is all a game. In addition to the fine, Judge Caprio continues, your driver's license is suspended for 180 days. The smile disappears. Wait, what? 180 days. 6 months. You will not drive a car. You will not get behind the wheel. You will take the bus like everyone else. You can't do that. I just did. Furthermore, you are sentenced to 200 hours of community service. Community service? Are you kidding? I am not kidding. 200 hours. And here's where it gets interesting. You will complete those hours as a crossing guard. Vanessa's face goes pale. A crossing guard. Yes, a crossing guard. At Washington Elementary School on Broad Street. The same street where you ran that red light. The same street where you almost killed Ms. Mendez. You will stand at that intersection every morning from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and every afternoon from 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Rain or shine, hot or cold, you will help children cross the street safely. You will make sure no one gets hurt because of someone else's recklessness. And you will wear an orange vest with the words Community Service printed on the back in big black letters. So everyone knows exactly why you're there. This is humiliating. It's supposed to be. That's the point. I'm not doing it. Then you'll go to jail. Jail? For a traffic ticket. For contempt of court. For refusing a judge's order. Pick your poison, Ms. Hartwell. The vest or the cell. Vanessa looks at Preston. Preston looks at the floor. And that's not all, Judge Caprio says. You will also write a 5,000-word essay on the topic of privilege and responsibility. You will explain what privilege means, where it comes from, and why it doesn't excuse bad behavior. This essay will not be typed. It will be handwritten, in your own hand, every single word, and it will be submitted to this court for review. If I don't like it, you'll write it again, and again, and again, until you get it right. This is insane. Furthermore, you will appear at Washington Elementary School on 3 separate occasions and speak to the students about traffic safety. You will tell them about the day you ran a red light. You will tell them about Ms. Mendez. You will explain what you did wrong and why it was dangerous. You will answer their questions, and you will do it with humility and honesty. No lawyer-written speeches. No prepared remarks. Just you, telling the truth. Can you do that, Ms. Hartwell? Can you tell the truth? Vanessa's mouth opens and closes. She looks like a fish, gasping for air. And finally, Judge Caprio says you will deliver a personal, handwritten apology to Ms. Mendez. Not an email, not a text, a letter, written by hand, on paper. You will explain what you did, why it was wrong, how it affected her, and what you've learned. You will give this letter to her in person, in this courtroom, in front of me. You will look her in the eyes, and you will apologize. Sincerely. Do you understand? This is too much. Too much. Let me tell you what's too much. Too much is running a red light at 67 miles per hour. Too much is blaming the victim for your mistakes. Too much is using your father's name to escape consequences. Too much is showing no remorse, no shame, no basic human decency. That's too much, Ms. Hartwell. What I'm giving you. This is mercy. Mercy? This is cruel and unusual punishment. Take it up with your father. I'm sure he knows the constitutional argument. Vanessa turns to Preston. Say something. Do something. Preston stands. Your Honor, with all due respect, this sentence seems excessive for a traffic violation. Counselor, this sentence is for much more than a traffic violation. Your client has shown contempt for this court, for the law, and for basic human decency. She needs to learn accountability, and she's going to learn it. We'll appeal. Appeal all you want. Until the appeal is decided, the sentence stands. And Ms. Hartwell, if you violate any term of this sentence, I will revoke your bond and you will spend the remainder of your suspension in jail. Are we clear? Vanessa doesn't answer. She's shaking now. Not from cold. From anger. From shock. From fear. I asked you a question. Are we clear? Yes, she whispers. I can't hear you. Yes, she shouts. Yes, we're clear. Good. Bailiff, please take Ms. Hartwell into custody for processing. Wait, what? Into custody? You said. I said you're free to go after processing. Processing includes fingerprints, photographs, and booking for community service. It's standard procedure. Bailiff. The bailiff steps forward. He's a big man. 6'3". Broad shoulders. He doesn't smile. He doesn't frown. He just does his job. Ms. Hartwell, please come with me. I'm not going anywhere. Ms. Hartwell, you can walk with me, or I can place you in handcuffs. Your choice. Vanessa looks around the courtroom, looking for help, looking for support, looking for anyone who might be on her side. She finds no one. Every face stares back at her with the same expression. Satisfaction. Justice. Finally, this isn't over, she says to Judge Caprio. My father will hear about this. I'm counting on it. In fact, I'm going to send him a copy of today's transcript. I want him to read every word you said, every excuse you made, every person you blamed. I want him to see exactly who his daughter is. For the first time all day, Vanessa's eyes fill with tears. Real tears. Not angry tears. Not frustrated tears. Scared tears. Please, she whispers. Please don't send it to him. Why not? You were so eager to invoke his name earlier, to use his position, to hide behind his influence. What changed? He'll be so disappointed. Good. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe knowing your father is disappointed will mean more than anything I can say or do. A tear rolls down Vanessa's cheek. She wipes it away quickly, angry at herself for showing weakness. I'll do the community service. I'll write the essay. I'll do all of it. Just please don't tell my father. Ms. Hartwell, you told me earlier that you take responsibility. Let's see if that's true. Part of taking responsibility is facing the consequences, including the disappointment of the people who love you. Your father deserves to know what happened here today, and you deserve to face his reaction. That's what accountability looks like. Another tear falls, then another. Vanessa's carefully applied makeup starts to run. Black streaks form under her eyes. I'm sorry, she says, but she's not looking at Judge Caprio. She's looking at Rosa. I'm sorry. I didn't mean what I said. About you being tired. That was wrong. That was really wrong. Rosa doesn't respond right away. She studies Vanessa. This young woman who almost killed her, who blamed her, who showed no remorse until this very moment. Rosa takes a deep breath. You're sorry because you got caught. You're sorry because there are consequences. But are you actually sorry for what you did? Vanessa trails off. I don't know. At least that's honest. I'm not a bad person. I've never had to think about other people. Not really. Everything's always been easy. Everything's always worked out. So I never learned to care, I guess. That sounds terrible. But it's true. It does sound terrible. But you're right. It's honest. I don't know how to fix this. You start by doing what the judge ordered. You show up. You work. You learn. And maybe at the end of all this, you'll be a different person. A better person. Vanessa nods. Mascara runs down her face. She doesn't even try to wipe it away anymore. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do all of it. Good. Rosa pauses. And Vanessa, when you write that apology letter, actually mean it. Don't just write words you think I want to hear. Figure out what you actually want to say. What you actually feel. That's the only way this works. Okay. The bailiff touches Vanessa's elbow gently. Ms. Hartwell, we need to go. She nods. She follows him. As she walks toward the side door, she looks back at Judge Caprio one more time. Thank you, she says. Quiet. Almost too quiet to hear. Judge Caprio nods. I'll see you in 6 weeks for your first review hearing. Don't be late. I won't. She leaves. The door closes behind her. The courtroom slowly comes back to life. People start talking. Whispers become conversations. The tension that filled the room begins to lift. Rosa Mendez stands there, still holding her folder, still processing what just happened. Judge Caprio looks at her. Ms. Mendez, regarding your expired registration. Rosa straightens up. Yes, Your Honor. Case dismissed. What? Case dismissed. You've been through enough. Go home. Take care of your husband. Take care of your daughters. And please renew that registration as soon as you can. Rosa's hand flies to her mouth. She starts crying. Not sad crying. Relief crying. Joy crying. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your courage. And thank you for what you do at that hospital. Nurses are the backbone of healthcare. Don't let anyone tell you different. Rosa nods. She can't speak. Too many emotions. She just nods and nods and nods. She leaves the courtroom. Her steps are lighter. Like a weight has been lifted. Judge Caprio looks at his clerk. What's next? Case 2025 TR 91848. Parking violation. Bring them in. And court continues. Another case. Another person. Another story. This is what justice looks like. One case at a time. One person at a time. One lesson at a time. 6 weeks pass. It's early January. Cold. The kind of cold that bites at your face. But Vanessa Hartwell is outside. On the corner of Broad Street and Public. Wearing an orange vest. The words community service are printed on the back in black letters. Just like Judge Caprio ordered. She's holding a stop sign. Red. Octagonal. She holds it up when cars approach. She walks kids across the street. Elementary school kids. Little ones. 6 years old. 7. 8. They don't know who she is. They don't care that her father is a congressman. They don't care about her Maserati or her penthouse. They just know her as the crossing guard lady. One little girl stops in the middle of the crosswalk. Vanessa's heart skips. She looks both ways. No cars coming. But still, the girl shouldn't stop. Honey, keep walking, Vanessa says. Her voice is different now. Softer. Kinder. The girl points at Vanessa's vest. Why does your vest say community service? Vanessa kneels down. I level with the girl. Because I made a mistake. A big mistake. And now I'm helping people to make up for it. What mistake? I wasn't careful when I was driving. I could have hurt someone. Did you hurt them? No. I got lucky. They were paying attention even though I wasn't. My mom says we always have to pay attention. Your mom is right. The girl smiles. Okay. Bye. She runs across the street. Vanessa watches her go. Safe. Secure. Alive. She thinks about Rosa. About how close she came to taking someone's mother away. Someone's wife. Someone's nurse. A car pulls up. The driver rolls down the window. Hey, aren't you that girl from the courthouse? The one who got in trouble. Vanessa's first instinct is to deny it. To hide. To run. But she doesn't. Yeah, that's me. Good for you. My kid goes here. I'm glad you're learning your lesson. The driver pulls away. Vanessa stands there. The wind blows. Her nose is red. Her fingers are numb. She's been out here for an hour. She has another 30 minutes to go. Then she'll go home. Shower. Change. And come back at 2:30 for the afternoon shift. Every day. Monday through Friday. Rain or shine. Just like the judge ordered. It's the 6-week review hearing. Vanessa enters the courtroom. She looks different. Her hair is pulled back in a ponytail. No makeup. She's wearing jeans and a simple sweater. No designer labels visible. She carries a folder. Inside are her time sheets. Signed by the principal at Washington Elementary. Every single one. She also carries an envelope. Hand-addressed. To Rosa Mendez. Judge Caprio enters. Everyone stands. He sits. Everyone sits. Case 2025 TR 91847. Review hearing for Vanessa Hartwell. Ms. Hartwell, please approach. Vanessa walks to the front. Her hands shake slightly. But she keeps walking. She stands where she stood 6 weeks ago. In the same spot. But everything feels different. Ms. Hartwell, how has your community service been going? Good, Your Honor. I've completed 68 hours so far. I've been at the intersection every day. Haven't missed one. How has it been? Honestly. Vanessa takes a breath. It's been hard. The weather is cold. My feet hurt. People stare. Some people take pictures. There are memes about me online. I've been recognized at the grocery store. At the coffee shop. Everywhere. And how do you feel about that? At first I hated it. I was so embarrassed. So angry. But then, I started talking to the kids. The kids I help cross. And I realized something. They don't care who I am. They just trust me to keep them safe. And that's important. That's bigger than my embarrassment. Judge Caprio nods slowly. Have you written the essay? Yes. Vanessa reaches into her folder. She pulls out a thick stack of paper. All handwritten. Pages and pages of it. It's 5,246 words. I know you said 5,000, but I had more to say. May I see it? She hands it to the clerk. The clerk hands it to Judge Caprio. He flips through the pages, reading sections. His expression doesn't change, but he takes his time, really reading. After several minutes, he looks up. This is good, Ms. Hartwell. This is real. You wrote about your childhood, about growing up with money, about never being told no, about how that shaped you into someone who didn't think about consequences. Is that accurate? Yes, Your Honor. That's exactly what I wrote about. And what did you learn? I learned that privilege isn't a pass. It's a responsibility. I have advantages other people don't have. I could use those advantages to help, to give back, to make things better. But instead I used them to avoid accountability, to take shortcuts, to hurt people. And that was wrong. Really wrong. What else? I learned that other people's lives matter just as much as mine. That sounds obvious, but I never actually believed it. Not deep down. I thought my time was more valuable because I'm busy, because I have things to do. But Rosa has things to do too. She saves lives. What do? I post on Instagram. I go to parties. I waste time. Important time. And I almost took time away from someone who actually matters. Judge Caprio sits back. Ms. Mendez, are you here? Rosa stands up in the gallery. Yes, Your Honor. Would you please come forward? Rosa walks to the front. She stands next to Vanessa. They don't look at each other. Not yet. Ms. Hartwell, you have something for Ms. Mendez. Yes. Vanessa holds out the envelope. Her hand shakes. I wrote this for you. It's my apology. It's not perfect. I rewrote it 4 times. But I think it's honest. I hope it's honest. Rosa takes the envelope. She opens it carefully. She reads. 1 page. 2 pages. 3 pages. The courtroom is silent. Everyone watches. Everyone waits. When Rosa finishes, she folds the letter carefully. She puts it back in the envelope. She looks at Vanessa. You wrote that you hope I can forgive you someday, but that you understand if I can't. Yes. And you wrote that you think about me every morning when you're at that intersection. That you imagine what would have happened if I hadn't stopped in time. If my daughters had lost their mother. If the patients I take care of had lost their nurse. Yes. I think about that all the time now. And you wrote that you're not asking for my forgiveness. You're just asking for a chance to be better. That's right. Rosa nods slowly. Vanessa, I'm not going to tell you that everything is okay. Because it's not. You scared me. You hurt me. You made me doubt whether people like you can ever change. Can ever care about people like me. I understand. But... Rosa pauses. I've been watching you these past 6 weeks. I drive by that intersection sometimes. On my way to work, I see you standing there. In the cold. In the rain. Helping those kids. And I see something I didn't see 6 weeks ago. I see effort. I see someone trying. That doesn't erase what you did. But it's a start. Thank you. I'm not ready to forgive you yet. Maybe I will be someday. Maybe I won't. But I am willing to acknowledge that you're trying. And that matters. Vanessa's eyes fill with tears. That's more than I deserve. Maybe. Maybe not. I'm still figuring that out. Judge Caprio watches them. Both of them. This moment of connection between 2 women from completely different worlds. This moment of potential healing. Ms. Hartwell, you have 132 hours of community service left. You have 3 speaking engagements at the elementary school. You have 5 more months until your license is reinstated. Do you intend to complete all of it? Yes, Your Honor. Every single hour. And after? When your sentence is complete. What then? Vanessa thinks about this. Really thinks. I don't know exactly. But I know I want to do something that matters. Something that helps. Maybe I'll volunteer at the hospital. Maybe I'll work with kids. Maybe I'll use my father's connections for something good instead of something selfish. I haven't figured it out yet. But I will. Good. That's all I ask. Figure it out. And then do it. He picks up his gavel. Your next review hearing is in 6 weeks. I expect to see continued progress. You're dismissed. Thank you, Your Honor. Vanessa turns to leave. Then she stops. Turns back. Your Honor, can I say something? Go ahead. I'm grateful. For what you did. For what you said. I was so angry that day. I thought you were being cruel. But you weren't. You were giving me a chance. A chance to be better. To do better. And I'm taking it. I promise I'm taking it. Judge Caprio smiles. Just a small smile. Barely there. But it's real. I believe you, Ms. Hartwell. Don't make me regret it. I won't. She leaves. Rosa leaves. The courtroom empties. Just Judge Caprio and his clerk remain. That was something, the clerk says. Yes, it was. Do you think she'll actually change? Long term. I don't know, but I gave her the tools. What she does with them is up to her. You were pretty hard on her. I was. Because she needed it. Because no one else ever had been. Judge Caprio looks at the file. At his notes. At the essay Vanessa wrote. You know what I've learned in 30 years on this bench? People can change. Not always. Not even usually. But sometimes. And when they do, when they really do, it's worth everything. The clerk nods. Next case. Next case. 3 months later. It's April. The weather is warmer. Spring is coming. Vanessa Hartwell stands at the same intersection. Still wearing the orange vest. Still holding the stop sign. But something is different. She smiles now. Waves at the kids. Knows some of them by name. "Hi, Miss Vanessa," a little boy yells. "Hi, Marcus. How was school?" "Good. We learned about fractions." "Fractions are important. You'll use them your whole life." "Really? Really?" He runs across the street. Safe. Happy. Alive. A woman approaches. She's pushing a stroller. "Excuse me. You're Vanessa Hartwell, right?" "Yes. I saw your story online. About what happened in court. About your community service." Vanessa tenses. Here it comes. The judgment. The ridicule. She braces herself. "I just wanted to say thank you." Vanessa blinks. "Thank you? For what?" "My sister was killed by a drunk driver 5 years ago. She was crossing the street. The driver ran a red light. He got a fine and his license suspended for 30 days. That's it. No jail. No real consequences. I've been angry about it ever since. But seeing you here, doing this, actually learning from your mistakes, it gives me hope. Hope that maybe the system can work. Hope that maybe people can change. So thank you. For showing up. For trying." The woman walks away. Vanessa stands there. Stunned. She didn't expect that. Didn't expect gratitude. Didn't expect hope. But maybe that's the point. Maybe consequences aren't just about punishment. Maybe they're about transformation. About becoming someone who gives hope instead of taking it away. She holds up the stop sign. Another group of kids crosses. Another day of keeping people safe. Another day of being better. 6 months after the original hearing, Vanessa returns to court one final time. It's her last review. If everything is in order, her sentence will be complete. Her license will be reinstated. She'll be free to move on with her life. Judge Caprio reviews her file. "Ms. Hartwell, you've completed 200 hours of community service. You've given 3 presentations at Washington Elementary. You've written the required essay. You've apologized to Ms. Mendez. All requirements have been met." "Yes, Your Honor." "How do you feel?" "Relieved. Grateful. Different." "Different how?" "I see things I didn't see before. I notice people I would have ignored. Last week I saw a woman struggling to carry groceries to her car. She had 2 kids with her. They were crying. The bags were heavy. Old me would have walked past. Wouldn't have even registered. But I stopped. I helped her. And you know what she said? She said I saved her day. That she was about to break down and cry. And I thought, wow. Such a small thing. 5 minutes of my time. But it mattered to her. It really mattered. That's growth, Ms. Hartwell. I know. And I want more of it. I've been volunteering at Rhode Island Hospital. In the ICU. Where Rosa works. I don't do medical stuff. I just sit with patients who don't have visitors. I read to them. I talk to them. I hold their hands. Rosa helped me set it up." Judge Caprio's eyebrows rise. "Ms. Mendez helped you?" "Yes. We've been meeting for coffee once a week. She's teaching me about nursing. About what it's like to care for people. About finding meaning in service. She's become, I don't know, a mentor, I guess. A friend. I don't deserve her friendship. But she's giving it to me anyway." Rosa stands up in the gallery. "May I speak, Your Honor?" "Of course." Rosa comes forward. "Vanessa has been incredible at the hospital. The patients love her. She's patient, kind, present. She listens. Really listens. Last week a patient asked her why she was there. What made her want to volunteer? And she told the truth. She told him about the ticket, about the court case, about learning accountability. And you know what? He thanked her. Said her honesty gave him perspective on his own mistakes. That's impact. That's change. Judge Caprio looks at Vanessa. You told a stranger about your mistakes. Yes, because they're part of my story now. I'm not proud of them, but I'm not hiding from them either. They happened. They shaped me. And if sharing them helps someone else, then maybe something good came from something bad. That's wisdom, Ms. Hartwell. Real wisdom. I learn from the best. Vanessa glances at Rosa. Rosa smiles. Judge Caprio picks up his gavel. Vanessa Hartwell, your sentence is complete. Your license is hereby reinstated. You're free to go. Thank you, Your Honor. But before you do, I want you to remember something. Remember this moment. Remember this feeling. Remember what you learned. Remember the person you used to be and the person you are now. And when you're tempted to fall back into old habits, to use your privilege as a shield instead of a tool, remember why you're standing here. Remember Rosa. Remember those kids at the crosswalk. Remember that woman with the groceries. Remember that patient at the hospital. They're counting on you. Not to be perfect, but to be better. To keep being better. Can you do that? Yes, Your Honor. I can. And I will. Then we're done here. Court is adjourned. He bangs the gavel. One final time. The sound echoes through the courtroom. Final. Complete. Finished. Vanessa and Rosa walk out together. Side by side. Not victim and perpetrator. Not rich and poor. Not congressman's daughter and night shift nurse. Just two women who found each other in the middle of something hard and came out the other side changed. Outside the courthouse, reporters wait. They shout questions. Cameras flash. This case went viral months ago. People want updates. Want to know if the spoiled rich girl actually changed or if it was all an act. Vanessa stops. She could walk away. Could ignore them. But she doesn't. I'll make a statement, she says. Rosa squeezes her hand. You sure? I'm sure. Vanessa faces the cameras. 6 months ago I stood in that courtroom, and I was the worst version of myself. I was arrogant, cruel, selfish. I blamed everyone but me. I thought my father's position made me special, made me better. I was wrong. Judge Caprio taught me something I should have learned a long time ago. Privilege isn't about being better. It's about having opportunities. And what you do with those opportunities defines who you are. I wasted mine. I used them to avoid consequences, to hurt people, to feed my ego. But I'm done with that. I'm using them differently now. To help, to serve, to give back. And I'm going to keep doing that. Not because a judge ordered it, but because it's right. Because it matters. Because I want to be someone my father can be proud of. Someone I can be proud of. A reporter yells out, what would you say to other young people in your position? Other people with wealth and privilege? Vanessa thinks. I'd say don't wait for a judge to teach you accountability. Learn it now. Look around. See people who are struggling. Help them. Not for credit. Not for social media. But because it's what decent humans do. Your money doesn't make you special. Your actions make you special. So make them count. Another reporter. Have you talked to your father about what happened? Yes. Many times. He was disappointed. Ashamed. Angry. All the things Judge Caprio said he would be. But he's also been supportive. He's watched me do the work. Seen me change. And he told me last week that he's proud of who I'm becoming. That meant everything. More than any car or condo or trust fund. His respect. That's what I was missing. And now I have it. And I'm never losing it again. One more question. Do you regret what happened? I regret my behavior. I regret the pain I caused. But do I regret the consequences? No, because they saved me. They woke me up. They turned me into someone worth being. So no regrets. Only gratitude. For the judge who didn't let me off easy. For Rosa, who forgave me when she didn't have to. And for everyone who gave me a second chance. I'm not wasting it. She walks away. Rosa walks with her. The cameras follow for a moment. Then stop. This isn't news anymore. This is just life. A person learning, growing, becoming better. And that's the story. Not of punishment. Not of revenge. But of transformation. Of accountability leading to growth. Of consequences creating character. Of justice that doesn't just punish, but teaches. 1 year later, Vanessa Hartwell stands in front of the Rhode Island State House. She's speaking at a press conference. But this time, she's not defending herself. She's advocating for others. Today I'm announcing the Accountability in Action Foundation. This foundation will provide resources for young people who commit traffic violations. Not just fines, not just points on a license, but actual education, actual service, actual change. We'll partner with schools, hospitals, and community centers to create meaningful service opportunities. We'll teach driver safety. We'll connect young offenders with victims. We'll show them the real consequences of reckless driving. Not to shame them, but to save them, to save the people around them, to turn mistakes into lessons and lessons into lifetime habits. Reporters take notes, flash photos, ask questions. Where did this idea come from? From my own experience. From Judge Frank Caprio, who saw potential in me when I saw none in myself. From Rosa Mendez, who showed me what real strength looks like. And from every kid I helped cross the street. Every patient I sat with. Every moment I spent being useful instead of useless. This is my life's work now, turning privilege into purpose. How much money are you contributing? I'm starting with $500,000 for my trust fund. And I'm pledging 10% of everything I earn for the rest of my life. It's not about the money. It's about the commitment. About showing young people like me that we can do better. We just have to choose to. Her father stands behind her. Congressman Richard Hartwell. He's smiling, proud. His daughter isn't just his daughter anymore. She's a force, a leader, someone making a difference. After the press conference, Vanessa drives to Providence, to Broad Street and Public, to the intersection where everything changed. She parks, gets out, stands on the corner. School just let out. Kids stream across the crosswalk. A crossing guard holds up a stop sign. It's not Vanessa. Not anymore. Her service is done. But she comes back anyway. Once a week. Just to remember. Just to stay grounded. Rosa walks up beside her. They stand together. Watching kids cross safely. Watching life continue. Watching the world spin on. You did good today, Rosa says. We did good. None of this happens without you. You did the work. I just showed you the door. You did more than that. You believed in me. When I didn't deserve it. When no one else did. You saw something worth saving. I saw someone hurting. Someone lost. And I thought, maybe she just needs someone to show her a different way. You did. You really did. They stand in silence. Comfortable silence. The kind that exists between real friends. I still come to that intersection in my mind, Rosa says. The one where you almost hit me. I see the silver car. I feel my heart stop. And for a long time, that memory filled me with fear. With anger. But now I think about what came after. The judge. The sentence. You. Us. And I think maybe that moment needed to happen. Not because you deserved to almost kill me. But because it led to this. To change. To growth. To something better than what was before. That's generous. Too generous. Maybe. But it's true. You're not that person anymore. And I'm not that scared. We both healed. Together. A little girl crosses the street. She sees Vanessa. Her face lights up. Ms. Vanessa, you came back. Hi, Emma. How's third grade? Good. I got an A on my math test. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. Emma runs to her mom. Safe. Happy. Alive. Vanessa watches her go. Then turns to Rosa. Thank you. For everything. For giving me a chance. For teaching me. For being patient when I was difficult. For forgiving me when I didn't deserve it. You changed my life. You changed your life. I just held up a mirror. Then thank you for the mirror. They hug. Right there on the corner. Two women from different worlds who found common ground in the hardest place possible. In pain. In consequence. In the choice to be better. And what about Judge Frank Caprio? He sits in his chambers. Alone. Quiet. The day's cases are done. The courtroom is empty. He reviews the day's files. So many stories. So many lives intersecting with justice. On his desk sits a letter. From Vanessa. She sends one every month. Updates on the foundation. On her life. On the people she's helping. This month's letter includes a photo. Vanessa and Rosa at the hospital. They're wearing matching scrubs. Volunteers. Partners. Friends. Judge Caprio smiles. He tacks the photo to his bulletin board. Among dozens of others. Other faces, other stories, other lives changed by accountability, compassion, and consequences that actually teach. He thinks about the viral video, about the millions of people who watched Vanessa's breakdown, about the think pieces written, the debates had, the arguments made. Some people thought he was too harsh. Others thought he wasn't harsh enough. But he didn't do it for them. He did it for her, for the young woman who needed someone to say no, to say stop, to say you're better than this. And she is. She's proving it every day. That's what justice should be. Not just punishment, not just revenge, but transformation. Turning the worst moments into opportunities for growth. Holding people accountable while giving them tools to do better. Meeting harshness with hope. Meeting cruelty with compassion. But never, ever accepting excuses. He closes the file. Stands. Puts on his coat. Tomorrow he'll be back. More cases. More people. More chances to teach. To help. To serve. Because that's what this job is. Not about power. Not about control. But about guidance. About seeing potential in people who've lost it in themselves. About believing that change is possible. Even when it seems impossible. Especially when it seems impossible. He turns off the light. Locks the door. Walks to his car. Tomorrow is another day. Another chance. Another opportunity to remind people that we're all equal under the law. That privilege doesn't exempt you. That wealth doesn't excuse you. That consequences aren't punishment. They're teachers. And the best lessons are the hardest ones. Money can buy many things. It can buy cars and condos and designer clothes. It can open doors and create opportunities. It can make life comfortable and easy. But cannot buy back time. It cannot undo harm. It cannot purchase respect. It cannot fake character. It cannot substitute for accountability. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it definitely cannot buy justice. Justice is earned. Through honesty. Through humility. Through the hard work of becoming better. Vanessa Hartwell learned that lesson. The hard way. The right way. The only way that sticks. And now she's teaching others. Spreading the lesson. Turning her privilege into purpose. Her mistake into mission. Her consequence into calling. That's the real story. Not of a spoiled rich girl who got humiliated, but of a lost young woman who found her way. Who took the hardest moment of her life and built something beautiful from the wreckage. That's justice. That's mercy. That's hope. That's what happens when accountability meets opportunity. When consequences meet compassion. When punishment meets purpose. That's what happens in courtroom of Judge Frank Caprio. That's what should happen everywhere.